Holy state, I'm ready. Not fight him. The good last Williams. Again, man. Fine. Let me turn off. Low can Yeah, it's not. Bad to give to the job. Well, that fixed it. My microphone was buzzing in my ear. Hang on. Find my background music. This one. Yes, it is. Okay, I think this is how I did it last time. Well, hello, welcome back to the Mouths of the Show. It has been a while. I'm not a very good streamer. Let me look real quick to make sure I'm doing this right. Cool. Okay, everything's working. As best as it can be working. Yeah. Have y'all ever seen Squidbellies? It's a show that was on Adult Swim, and it was about these squids that lived out in rural Georgia, and they were all super duper hillbilly squid, and they would have, wacky zany adventures, and it was early Kyler and the son Rusty and his grandma and his sister or cousin Lil, and the local town sheriff, and Dan Harlan, I think, was the name of the boss, that was in charge of, the only company in town, and, and they would just get into very, Adult Swim level hillbilly shenanigans and a lot of southern stereotypes and goofiness like that. And, it was a show that I enjoyed severely, where I learned how to pronounce perseverance correctly. And what perseverance means is, if you don't succeed at first, you were never meant to, and I never should have had you, and you ruined my dirt biking career. Let me tell you about perseverance. Oh man. Goofy stuff. Yeah. I'm not a great live streamer, and it's pretty obvious why. It's because I don't stream very often, but I want to stream more often. The problem is I'm a very extroverted person, and so I go outside and I touch grass and do lots of social things with other people, and you can't really do those things and stream at the same time. There's kind of a reason why all streamers are introverts. It's because introverts have time to stream. Yeah, let me get some water real quick. There we go. So my goal was to try to stream, because I know I can at least do an hour, an hour a day, 5 days a week. Just get off work and start streaming after dinner. That before I have to go to my, my afternoon activities. I know, I'm committed to quite a few things. I like to do ballroom dancing, so I'll go practice that. Or go out to dancing social nights on either Fridays or the weekends, sometimes on Wednesday. Really, you can find dancing any day of the week if you really want to look hard for it. And I go to a rock climbing gym to practice my fitness and my outdoor skills, and be improving and becoming a better rock climber is something that's kind of on the list of things for me to do. I took a look into the professional mountain guiding track, and one of the things to do is become an apprentice rock guide. I was like, wouldn't that be a cool thing? To be an apprentice rock guide and go take people out on trips and stuff like that. What was that called? No. I want the name of the organization. Angie, no. Wait, no, I'm looking for the big one. I think it's this, IMFGA. Yeah, the IMFGA, IVDV, and UIAGN are yeah, this is the professional mountain guide society and certification process. They're the people that validate, if you're a professional or not. Where is the... Oh my goodness! That is a heck of a yawn. Where I used to... Yeah, where's the thing about becoming a guide? Oh, come on. I had a whole breakdown and everything. There's a tree, but... Well, okay, so I guess the side note I was looking at was the American Mountain Guides Association, which if you go through this and you yeah, this is one of the total. It's part of the same guiding thing. This is just the American. If you're in America, you do it this way. If you're in Europe, you do it a different way, slightly, because they have different grading systems for difficulty levels of, types of climbs and things like that. And so to become the American Mountain Guide or an IFMTA guide, you have to become. It's a combination of three things. You are an Alpine guide. You are a certified Alpine guide. You are a certified rock guide, and you are a certified ski guide. And if you're all of three of those things, then you're a professional mountain guide. In all aspects. But you can become a professional in just one of these things, where people just become rock guides or ski guides. And that's, because they only like one of the aspects, and that's like the only thing that they want to do, full time. So that's the thing. Yeah, so to become, so the first thing that people typically do is the rock guide course, because it has kind of the lowest level, the lowest like barrier to entry as far as like prerequisites. So basically the process is you have to complete some prerequisites on your own. You have to do some preliminary solo adventuring. And then you go take these courses, and then you take exams. So it's like you go outside and you do it on your own. Like a beginner level on your own, you take the course, you take the exam, you go outside and do an advanced level on your own, you take the next course, exam, and so on and so forth. So for the rock guide, there's a preliminary requirement. Like, it's good, the whole thing. I mean, this was interesting to me when I had to. Or not had to, but I just chose to research it. I've got it in a book. Go to my Cardic book. The Cardic get my book. You know what? I'm gonna go get the book. I'll be back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm back. I found my book. Okay. Oh, let's see what I've got here. I wrote down the whole process. Okay, yeah, so the preliminary. That's right. Let's skip there it is. Okay, so first, before you take Okay, so the first thing you have to do no matter what is the rock guide course before you start on any of the branches. In order to participate in the rock guide course, you have to have 10 trad climbs on various rock types, single or multi-pitch. And you have to have led or shared lead on 10 grade 3 trad climbs. I'm sorry, wait, am I double? That's... No, yeah. Yeah, you have to lead 10 trad climbs of various rock types, single or multi-pitch. And that you have to lead or share lead. Meaning you led some of the route and somebody else led the rest of the route. 10 grade 3 trad climbs. And 50 multi-pitch climbs. Which is a lot. Did I write that? Yeah? Yeah, you gotta be a pretty seasoned climber to snag this. And then you take the rock guide course. And they'll teach you, your participants will expect to have a strong foundation of recreational climbing, knowledge of knots, belaying, action strategies. You should be capable of leading clients. And so, part of what you have to do is you submit a resume, basically. In your resume, there's a series of trip reports as proof of, these completed climbs. You take the rock guide course, and what else? You also need a current CPR certification and a current wilderness first responder certificate to take the course. 5 years of personal rock climbing experience. I'm not familiar with leave no trace practices. So you've already got to be fairly seasoned. And then you'll take the class, and then there'll be an assessment at the end of the class. And the assessment at the end of the class, you have to lead sport routes up to 5'9", proficiency with knots, proficiency with belangies, proficiency with rappels, and they also assess you in risk management, client air, technical systems, terrain assessment, movement, and professionalism. And so if you get past that, you then have to go back out on your own and complete 10 trad climbs of 5 and what they call the sound level of, I guess, difficulty. Where did I rate this down? Yeah, it's this difficulty level on the Yosemite Festival. So in between finishing the first class before starting the advanced class, you have to lead 10 crag climbs with 5, 10, or more difficulty. Lead our shared lead 10 grade 4 climbs, and guide or mock guide 20 grade 3 climbs. Then you take the advanced rock guide course, and then at the end of the course, you'll also take an exam. And the exam will assess a 510D or C2 climb. May include bouldering, trad climbs, and sport climbs, a rock rescue drill, and practical guiding days. And they will assess your guiding. Oh, that's at the end of the class, I'm sorry. And that's at the end of the advanced class, and then the exam will assess basically everything on longer than 1 routes. Yeah. I'm already skipping ahead again. There's so many things. So you finish the advanced class, then you have to go back out again. And you have to, prior to the exam, you have to be able to lead or shared lead N511A sport with trad climbs. You have to have guided 20 days of multi-pitch climbing. And 16 days of mock guiding. With at least 7 grade 3 climbs, 3 grade 4 climbs. Then you qualify to take it. And the exam will be a big, it will be a big super assessment of all of it. If you I'm still not explaining this super well. Rock guide prerequisites, rock guide course prerequisites, advanced rock guide course prerequisites, assistant exam. And once you pass the assistant exam, you're an assistant rock climber, and you're, semi-certified to take on guided trips. Once you've built up skill level again under the assistant exam, you can take the family rock guide exam. If you pass the rock guide exam, you are a certified rock guide. Then there's the Alpine Guide program, and there are a couple of paths to complete the Alpine Guide program. It has a higher level that there's more things basically to practice, because it's kind of a combination of rock climbing, ice climbing, intermediate rock and ice climbing, biker stuff. It's and high elevation training. It's a real variety. For Alpine, before you take the first course, which I have as the Alpine Guide course, because you can take some of these out of order. We'll talk about the traditional route, I guess. Yeah. Prior to completing the rock guide course, first, then you have to lead or lead 5 rock climbs, 5, 6 or greater, 5 ascents, no climbing, 3 overnight backcountry trips. Confidence, and third, it forced blast array, learning mount boots, and experience in over 10,000 foot elevation. Then you can take the Alpine course. And 2 years of climbing experience. And the rest of those things that I mentioned. And then the course will teach you stuff. Then you need to complete Has this changed since the last time I looked it up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Interesting. I actually have more on my prerequisites. Possibly because it's a combination of a couple of things. Yeah, because it's kind of taking every version of the course, so you can specialize the alpine ice or alpine rock or snow and glacier. And this is kind of assuming you're doing everything. So after you finish the original Alpine Schools course, you have to do that. I guess, well, technically you don't have to. You can take any of them prior to you have to complete 2 between either the Alpine Guide course, the Ice Instructor course, and the Alpine Rock module. And the Glacier module. You have to bring basically a combination of 2 of them to take the Advanced Alpine course. But it's recommended to do all of them. It kind of just depends on what's available to you. So then I have 20 different Alpine routes. Should include 7 Alpine 5.8 routes, 10 Alpine grade 3 route, 5 Alpine 5.6 mixed conditions, bolted mix routes with snow, ice in crampons up to M3. Practice terrain between pure rock and snow. Leader shared lead 5 snow climbs with 40-degree slope. Examples of areas to complete these births in the North Cascades, Rocky Mountain National Park, Beartooth, and the Teton Mountains. And then you would go take the Alpine Rock module. 3 Glacier. 4 Ice Instructor. 5. Yeah, this is different. But I'm also looking at I'm pretty sure I looked at the American Guide last night. They've just up in this tree. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But 2 of these branches had to do what used to be the Ice Instructor thing. I guess now it's the Glacier, Snow and Glacier module. Whatever. Then you had Leader Shared Lead. Hello, single viewer. Glad you're woken up from your nap. Translate the attention. honestly, I was debating between a nap and that's really one of the biggest things that I also struggled with when I was, talking about going out and spending my free time and doing things. And, that hour in between that would be extremely cheaper than being just nap instead. She said. What was next? Yeah, leader start lead 10 grade 3 snow glacier route 5 at 40 degrees steepness 5 overnight gaps in winter conditions on the mountain 5 alpine water ice routes A1 or W1 3 climbing or are there 3 M3 mixed weather climbs and 5 alpine rock climbs. Went 5 at night, and that kind of covers, I think, the intro, the ice course, Placeness to that Sierra Ice, the Cascades, Rocky Mountain National Park in Alaska. Then I had to lead a total of 30 routes. At least 5 alpine when either greater. 10 glide 3 climbs 5 alpine 5.6 mixed conditions and a need or shared lead 10 snowblade for climbs 5 glide 3 5 with snow at 40 degrees steepness 5 overnight and winter trips 5 alpine water 5 alpine / water ice labs A1 / W1 3 climbing, and I believe that gets you to the ice instructor course. Then it was lead or shared lead 20 ice routes 10 W1 it's alpine ice and water ice. I was reading it wrong. So I was saying alpine ice or water ice, right? So now leader shared lead 20 ice routes, 10 water ice, or, and that gets you to the ice instructor exam, I believe. Yeah, that got you to the ice instructor exam. Then lead ice and mixed water ice 4 M5 climbs lead or shared lead 10 water ice 4 or harder guided 20 days multi-pitch ice climbs 20 mock guide or 10 mock guided climbs, and that I think the snow and glacier module. And then lead or shared lead 10 glacier routes with crevasses, 5 alpine grade 4s, 5 ice climbs water ice, or 10 guided or mock guided days in diverse alpine terrain. And that gets you into the advanced alpine guide course and the assistant exam, and you pass the assistant exam, you become an assistant alpine guide, and then you put that stamp basically on you and take people out on more formal guiding trips. And finally, lead or shared lead 5 alpine routes bring 4 5 rock climbs 5 A 10 paid days in diverse alpine terrain, and 5 in complex glacial terrain will qualify you for the Alpine Guide exam. And pass the Alpine Guide exam, you become a professional Alpine Guide. And now we have our rock guide completed and our Alpine Guide completed. The only thing left is our ski guide. Ski guide is much simpler. Prior to beginning the ski guide course, you should have 4 years of personal ski touring experience with multi-day trips and ECASAP. Be able to ski black diamond and double black diamond comfortably be able to ski 50-degree slopes and 4,500 to 6,000 feet of ascension and descension. And you must have completed a burial avalanche rescue course. And then you must have completed 20 ski tours with at least 5 and 40-degree pitch, 5 day tours with at least a 4,500-foot climb, and 5 multi-day tours. And that qualifies you for the ski guide course. Then you take the ski guide course. And after you've completed the ski guide course, you must then complete a form of whiteout navigation experience. Be able to climb 6,000 feet per day, glacier and crevasse rescue experience, slide rescue experience, and then lead or shared lead 10 descents, 5 uncomplex glacier terrain, 10 alpine routes, not 5th class rock, snow, or ice. So 10 alpine routes with a difficulty level of like 5, 6 to 5, 8. And then guide or mock guide 10 days in ski mountaineering terrain. And that will qualify you for the advanced ski guide course and the assistant exam. You are an assistant ski guide. And then you must be you must become a master of glacial travel and crevasse rescue. You must master be a master of navigation and whiteout navigation. You need to have 10 guided days in ski mountain, 5 Piedmont guided, and 10 personal descents, 5 complex glaciated frame, and 5 45-degree of distance. And then you can take your ski guide. If you pass your ski guide exam, you become a professional ski guide. Now that you have your alpine guide, your rock guide, and your ski guide, you are a professional mountain guide as recognized on an international level. And you get a fancy rain for it. And you can charge people less than much money to take up mountains and ski down mountains, rock climb mountains, and there you go. And what did I think I wrote down? Did I write this part down? I feel like I saved it somewhere. But basically, on the short end, the whole process will cost you just in taking the classes. This is just in taking the classes and a certificate in the classes, the exams, and the relevant certifications that are required for the classes. The whole process costs about $50,000, and I think that takes about 5 years, 4 or 5 years to complete. If you're really diligent on completing all of the prerequisites and taking all the courses to meet the odd time. Because the courses are not one-day things that are, multi-week things. They're multi-day to multi-week things. Yeah, 31 days total for an alpine guide, 26 days total to be a rock guide, 28 days total for golf, 30, 50, 60, 70, 8, 9, 5, they are giving it 85 days total. And then the amount of preliminary experience you have to be in between, that's about how long. I would say 4 years, about how long it takes. So, if you didn't want to go to college, you can become a professional mountain guide. Of course, that cost is not including you have to purchase all of your own gear. That's all cold weather gear, trad climbing gear, skiing gear. So none of that's cheap. So I'm sure this can easily turn into a $100,000 endeavor if you started spending money on the good stuff. I think you could keep it cheap, like a $75,000 cross step. I don't know. How much does they promote? Bro, fast. No, mount. Guy. How much do they make? Oh my god. I'm a very slow typer. Professional mountain guides in the United States. 40,000 to 68,000 a year. So, it might take you some time to earn that back. That's guiding in the U.S. I'm currently a guide in the Alps or Himalayas. I believe this is where people with a lot of money go work. Yeah, here's pay for a 15 experience guide. 7, 8, 10, 20K. So there's money to be made, but if you're a beginner guide, you're making about 20 to 25 to 30 K. So, man, you really gotta love what you do. You're definitely not gonna get paid much, and you're dependent on tourism and things like that. And, yeah, I guess this is not something that you should probably think a lot before about before you actually quit your day job to attempt this whole process. But it's really fascinating. It's a very prestigious title to hold if you're an MJ or an IFMG guide, IFMGA guide. So, I don't know. It was definitely entertaining to research. We'll see if I actually, live enough life to be able to adopt it. I think one thing I could probably do in my lifetime is at least take that rock guide course. I think I would have to definitely get better at rock climbing, because right now I'm not even. I've never even gone on them. I'm like a serious outdoor climbing trip to South Boulder. So that's probably the first thing you do. But yeah, your rock guide course would be entertaining. Man, it really feels like if you wanted to, kind of go through this process, your path needed to be rest. You didn't even start out, which is, kind of the case of a lot of those, adventure talents. Well, one, alternative to it now is that if you become a successful content creator, then you have the money and the type of things like this, and the downside is no one, rock climbing that mountaineering content isn't necessarily the thing that makes the most money online without some kind of edge to it. And what's his name? Ryan Mitchell. Yeah, it's kind of one of the more popular ones right now because he climbed Everest 19. And and he afforded it because he was already a successful Minecraft content creator on YouTube. And he just kind of poured that money into a mountaineering passion, and he's since attempted to climb K2, and it failed, and they did not make a summit. I haven't watched the full thing on why, but now he wants to attempt Everest and K2 without oxygen, which is kind of insane. A lot of people are recommending that he goes and climbs the other 7 super peaks. The other 7, 8,000 meter peaks first. Before trying the oxygen climb. But and I can understand the sentiment of you probably want to attempt a no oxygen ascent as young as possible, because that's the best condition that you're gonna be in to try it. Yeah. Oh, well, let's look at what is the oldest. No, missed that. Oldest no oxygen ever climbed. The oldest person to climb without oxygen was 55. So, well, okay. I guess you've got a solid window. But I'm sure it's a much easier thing that in your 20s. What about the oldest no oxygen K2 climber? Was 60. Wow. Almost 61. Only 30 years. 30 days away from being 61. Is the oldest person to climb K2 without oxygen. Well, I guess this can be something that gets done later in your lifetime than earlier. But yeah, so then I found myself daydreaming about, boy, I wish I had that life. And then I'm like, well, I do kind of have that life, because I'm an online personality that, doesn't make any money, so I have a day job, but my day job affords my outdoorsing adventures. Speaking of outdoorsing adventures, there's a lot to catch up on. I've got a full Guadalupe Mountains, Carlsbad Caverns, and White Sands National Park trip to regale y'all with. That one was definitely entertaining. All of those parks I would highly recommend going to visit, especially if you're in the area. Certainly worth seeing. I think the Lake Otain State Park in Texas was also a part of that trip, which was very cool. Definitely would recommend that. It took me, I gave it a week, basically 9 days to see all of that, which afforded, dude, it was 1 day Carlsbad, 2 days in White Sands, and 1 day at the Wake, and the rest was spent at the Guadalupe Mountains. There's a lot to do with Guadalupe Mountains, even though it doesn't look like a super map. Because it all kind of starts at one point. If you look at a map, Guadalupe Mountains, everything kind of begins and ends at Pine Space Ground, and and all of the trails is kind of right from there with auxiliary hikes from Holly Ranch at the Kittredge Canyon, and then if you drive all the way around to the backside of the mountain, there's Dot Canyon, and that's kind of the top side of the hikes. But to to basically see all of the yeah, that you'll hike through kind of the same big area, which is not simple, you know. One of the joke that I kind of came up with by the end of the trip was that, like, you know, all of the hikes were great. I would have appreciated if you didn't have to have like the extra 4 mile and out of the parking lot. Basically the parking lot to wherever, you know, your trailheads start to branch to the things that you want, is about 4 miles. And that's, you know, that's not bad. It's very manageable when you're starting a hike. And then you hike all the way to the top of your respective mountain or into the Devil's Hole or wherever. And that's great. And you get all the way down off the mountain or you come out of the canyon and you're like, oh boy, I'm almost there. Then you realize it's still 4 miles to the parking lot. And you're just like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Like, why is this so placed? Even though it feels like I should be right there. And that was the only thing that was a little bit miserable on. We went barely. I didn't do a good job of managing my diet. At the beginning of the trip, I underate. And, and really kind of suffered from a lack of calories when I climbed Guadalupe Peak because I did not eat a big enough breakfast, and I should have been snacking more along the way, and then I kind of skipped one to get to the peak to eat lunch on the peak, and that really just wound up being a terrible combination. So I was severely struggling on the climb up Guadalupe Peak. And the climb down was much more manageable, and the subsequent hikes later on the trip all went much better because I ate a way larger breakfast and snacked more regularly along the trail. I like got out of shape over time. I didn't exactly come into that hike with the best conditioning either, and I picked the hardest hike to do first. And you know, it's kind of tough because it's tough to grade it because, like, the Guadalupe Peak was the hardest hike as far as distance and elevation climb, but it was not the most difficult trail to hike. On that one would have to go to the McKittrick Ridge Trail. And the thing that was special about the McKittrick Ridge Trail is because you walk into the canyon, and it's very flat, and it's about 4 miles of flat, and it's very pretty and very easy trail to walk on. And then you have to climb the mountain, get up to the ridge, and that trail was tough. It was very uneven, rocky terrain, and very overgrown plant life. And the trail was very narrow, which wasn't a problem until you got about halfway up the mountain. And the trail is just basically this one boot wide strip that you're trying to walk, and you got this wide backpack on, and the plants are basically pushing you over the cliff. So you're trying to lean into them, but they're all strapping you at the same time, so you don't lean into them too hard, but they're also trying to push you off. And there's plants low on the ground that are grabbing and pulling on your ankles, and they trip you a lot. And it was a very hazardous trail to walk on. Quite the fight. I would drop this courage attempting to hike that part of the trail at night, because I couldn't imagine doing all of that and having a low level of visibility on top of that. So that would, I guess, be my advice for the trip. And then, of course, the Carlsbad Caverns are unbelievably beautiful. That's the most gorgeous cavern I've ever seen, and I only got to see the very basic version because right now her guided tours are very limited. Yeah, which is unfortunate. But if it's your first time going, the self-guided tour is the one. The first trip, you're not gonna feel like you didn't get enough. You're certainly there was more available. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's not the biggest. It's not the longest cave, and it's not the biggest room in the world, but it is certainly the most decorated and it's incredibly large. And I mean, when you're in it, it's complete. There's so many features. There's so many paths to the other sections of the cave that you can see. There's bottomless pits, there's massive towers, there's drapery, soda straws, and all kinds, and chandeliers hanging from the ceilings. There's now 2 ropes that have been left behind from when the original explorers went and discovered the upper chambers of the cavern on top of the big room. And those ropes are still hanging there, and you look at them and you're like, oh my god, how did anybody find that? That must be terrifying. So, very beautiful trip. And then, White Sands National Park, was really impressive. And just that it's a complete gypsum dune field out in between these 2 mountain ranges, and that's the reason why it's there is because of the 2 mountain ranges, and it's very pretty. It doesn't even feel like the same kind of with beach sand because it's gypsum. It's this crushed in gypsum, and it's also very cool to the touch. It doesn't rain even in the summer. So you could just walk around barefoot. And the dune sledding was very fun. The sunsets, which are kind of like the highlight of that park, really tried to be able to stay there and see a sunset. It's unbelievably gorgeous. I caught 2 of them. One was in the middle of a rainstorm. And then as I was leaving, basically, at the sunset short, because the lightning had rolled in, then as I was driving out, lightning was striking all over the park. I was, wow, okay. And then, they've got some hikes that go deeper into the dunes. There's no backpacking out there anymore. Unfortunately, because people didn't like it messes, so the backpacking got canceled to the backpacking areas recover from the impact of man. What else? And then the Waco State Park is an interesting one. It's a rock formation that's in between the Guadalupe Mountains, El Paso, and it's famous for being basically one of the best bouldering sites in the world, and it's completely covered in Native American pictograms and historic graffiti. And historic graffiti basically means people in early settler times that also, carved their names and dates onto the walls. So the combination of that plus even older name packing graffiti or pictograms. And you can just walk up and go see them. They're right there, and you walk up and go see them. Definitely do not touch them, because that will degrade their appearance. But you can go find them. I found all the masks that were underneath the cave rock. It's really fascinating, but that's just, how old some of that is, and that it's just still there, and that you can just go walk up and just see it. Because there are still places, where people act right and treat nature and history well. And the climbing out there was super entertaining. There's no real trails, you just kind of clamber all over the rock as you feel like. It's very fun. And what else? There was the Butterfield stage, the ruins of the Bales are still there at the Guadalupe Mountains. So the Butterfield stage route ran mail from San Francisco to St. Louis, and it originally cut right along the Guadalupe Mountains, and then it got rerouted further south towards Fort Davis. And I've been to Fort Davis before, so now it's at least neat to see both, branches of that route. And what else? The Frajole Ranch is a little ranch community of people that live out in the Guadalupe Mountains, farmed out there. We found a couple of natural springs, and we're able to keep some livestock. And then I didn't get to see the ship on the desert. That is still being renovated and fixed up, so you can't see that house. That's kind of like the last house that was built when the Guadalupe Mountains were privately owned. Basically, this oil baron came out to the Guadalupe Mountains. He was the last. Bought all of the land, and he was the last person to privately own it before he convince the government and then the national work. And his cabin, you can go see his cabin in the McKittrick Canyon, and it has the most beautiful front porch view you've ever seen. You're like, oh, this is amazing. So yeah, that was that trip. Very fun. All right, I've got to kind of wrap it up here, because now I have to go to dance practice. I have a contest coming in November, so wish me luck with that. I don't know. And I hope to actually, have a little discipline and street tomorrow for some screen time tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Okay. Bye.